You know that feeling like there's some secret, invisible rulebook at your job? Well, today, we're going to decode it. We're going to pull back the curtain on all those hidden forces, the psychology that really makes your workplace tick.
I mean, think about it. How can two companies, maybe even in the same industry, feel completely worlds apart? You walk into one, and it's inspiring, full of energy. You walk into the other, and it's just draining. Well, guess what? That's not an accident. There's a real science behind that feeling, and we are going to unpack it right now.
All right, so to help us out, let's follow Alex. Alex is just like a lot of us, starting a new job, feeling that mix of excitement and nerves. And Alex is about to find out pretty quickly that a company is so much more than just a logo and a mission statement. It's a living, breathing, complex system. And if you want to succeed, you've really got to understand how it works from the inside out.
So, Alex's first big challenge, it's all about mapping the territory. And I'm not talking about finding the coffee machine. This means learning to see the company not as some static, rigid org chart, but as this dynamic, living system that's always interacting with the world around it.
And the key idea here, the big concept, is something called an open system. Think about it. A company isn't like a sealed-off machine that just runs on its own. Nope. It's in this constant give and take with its environment. It's always pulling things in, changing them, and then pushing them back out. It's a non-stop cycle.
Okay, so let's see that cycle in action. First, you've got the inputs. This is everything the company brings in from the outside world. We're talking people like Alex, capital, technology, all that good stuff. Then comes the transformation. This is the actual work, right? The magic that happens inside the company. And finally, you get the outputs, the products, the services, whatever it is the company sends back out into the world. This simple flow, that's the engine of pretty much any business.
Now, this whole system isn't just one big blob. It's made up of a bunch of smaller, interconnected parts. You've got the why, the goals, the how, the tech, the who, the managers, the where, the structure. But there's one piece that Alex and all of us feel most intensely every single day, and that's the psychological part. You know, what we just call the vibe.
Right. And that vibe actually has a technical name. It's called the organizational climate. So let's fast forward a few weeks. Alex has settled in and is starting to get a real feel for the place. And this isn't about what's written in the employee handbook. It's about the energy, that atmosphere you can literally sense the second you walk through the door.
A good way to think about it is like the company's personality. It's that lasting, consistent feeling of a place. And make no mistake, that feeling is powerful. It can either fuel your performance and make you want to do great work, or it can totally drain you. It affects everyone, including Alex, every single day.
And the difference between a good climate and a bad one? Oh, it's night and day. A healthy climate, you've got trust, you've got real two-way communication. People are generally satisfied. But a toxic climate, that's all about fear, rigid rules, and communication that only flows one way, down. One empowers people, and the other just tries to control them. The results are, well, you can imagine. So, you might be wondering, where does this climate even come from? Well, it's a mix of a few key ingredients. You've got the overall company structure, the kind of technology it uses, pressures from the outside world like the economy, but honestly, the biggest factor? It's the day-to-day policies and practices of the management. That's what really sets the tone.
Okay, so Alex is starting to get the big picture, right? The system, the climate, but that climate isn't some abstract thing. It's shaped by people. And that means the next step is learning to navigate that complicated web of relationships and all those unwritten rules that really define how a place works.
And let's be real, the most critical relationship for most of us is the one with our boss. Their leadership style basically sets the tone for everything. So, what's Alex's boss like? Are they authoritarian, just barking orders with one-way communication? Or are they on the other end of the spectrum, participative, where the whole team gets involved in setting goals?
And here's the kicker. The data on this is super clear. The more participative a leader is, the more productive and satisfied their team is going to be. This isn't just about being nice or touchy-feely. It's smart business. When people feel like they have a voice and a sense of ownership, they bring their A game. It's as simple as that.
But, you know, it's not just about the boss. Alex also has to figure out how to fit in with the rest of the team. There's a formal name for this whole process. It's called organizational socialization. It's basically the journey you take from being the clueless new person to becoming a true insider.
This is where the real learning happens. It's where Alex figures out all the stuff that's not in any manual, like
Who do you really go to when you need help? What topics are off limits with the boss? How do people here support each other when things get tough? All of this stuff builds an unspoken psychological contract. It's the real, unwritten deal between you and your employer. All right, let's jump ahead again. Alex has been around for a while now, has navigated the system, really gets the climate, and has built those crucial relationships. Now Alex is a fully integrated member of the team. So what's the final piece of the puzzle? It's turning all that knowledge into actual, high-level performance.
And it's really important to know there's a huge difference between just being effective and truly achieving excellence. See, effectiveness is doing your job, meeting the minimum standard. Excellence, that's about blowing past that standard. And that entire journey, it all starts with the individual.
So for Alex, or anyone really, to perform at their absolute best, you need 3 key things. First, you've got to have the right abilities and interests for the job. Second, you need to have total clarity on your role and what you're supposed to achieve. And third, you need a supportive environment to do it in. And hey, that third one, that takes us right back to that healthy climate we were talking about earlier. See how it all connects?
And from the organization's point of view, achieving excellence isn't about getting lucky. It's a deliberate 4-step strategy. Step 1, hire the right people. Step 2, invest in them with training and development. Step 3, design jobs that are actually meaningful and engaging. And finally, Step 4, guide and reward the exact behaviors you want to see more of. It's a system.
So, let's bring it all together. We've gone from this massive 30,000-foot view of the organization as a system all the way down to the daily climate you can actually feel when you walk in the door. And these aren't just some abstract academic theories. These are the real, invisible forces that are shaping your work life every single day.
And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. A truly great workplace doesn't just happen by accident. It's built on purpose. It's the result of understanding all of these interconnected parts and then intentionally, consciously working to make the whole system better.
Which brings me to a final thought, and it's really a question for you. You aren't just a passenger along for the ride in your organization's climate. You're a part of it. You're a co-creator of it. So think about it. What is one small thing you could do tomorrow to improve it,